So we've never really looked at tobacco stocks. So let's look at one. Let's look at Philip Morris. So Philip Morris has been on a nice little run. Yeah, we're going to rival Bloomberg. Why wouldn't we? They're going to have to rival us. Tarsus is still a buy. It's gone up a lot, obviously. Just be careful. Okay, this I've never seen. An income statement for 6 months? Okay, that's wild. Yeah, Mike is one of my heroes, but at the end of the day, the dude is checked out. He's not 80 being a CEO. How old is homie anyway? Richest man in the world, 82. So you guys can never trust these net worth things from anyone. Forbes, Bloomberg, they're all wrong. You want to know if people are really rich or not? Ask Shkreli. Know the real Forbes list. Shkreli list. The only thing Forbes does is they do the calculation of your publicly disclosed stock, and that's it. It's useless. Otherwise, how are they checking your bank account, your trading account? You're giving them, does Forbes IRS? I don't know if you guys saw the news about 𝐷𝐸𝐴. Pretty interesting things going on at that firm. Hope they get through whatever they got going through. All right, so with Philip Morris, remember they had the Altria Group, which I think is the U.S. business, and this is like, PM is like PMI, Philip Morris International, right? Pretty sure. And they do Europe, where tobacco revenue actually grew. I'm guessing this is Southeast Asia, and then Australia, East Asia and Australia, so that's like China. And you can see that, you know, most people think of tobacco as a declining industry, but you have actually 6% revenue growth. And you have a product that's literally contagious. Addictive. I don't know how you feel ethically about buying a stock like this, but assuming you don't consider that part of the equation, which is up to you, I'm not going to tell you what to think. Both sides of the business are growing, I want to say. Smoke-free is growing faster. Smoke-free is growing really fast, actually. Either way, the point is you have revenue growth for the first time in a tobacco stock, which is, yeah, could we see a return where Philip Morris is the top? I mean, actually, if they remerged with Altria, they'd be one of the biggest companies in the world. It's not a small market cap there, 186 billion. They have a ton of debt too, so the enterprise value is actually a bit larger than the market cap. Does everyone understand that concept? Do I have to go through that again? I hope not. Yes, the 225 billion enterprise value. I think Philip Morris Altria Group is around the same. Anybody else need to go over it again? I'm not going to do it just for one guy. Okay, just watching, thank you. Did you guys see this major news about 𝐷𝐸𝐴? So 𝐷𝐸𝐴 is one of the most powerful firms on Wall Street. You get a job there, you'll be a millionaire. Really great place to work. Came out yesterday that they're going to settle with the SEC over $100 million. I guess it's a Wall Street Journal. Hedge fund 𝐷𝐸𝐴 in settlement with the SEC. They have 60 billion in capital. So more capital than almost any other hedge fund. But the two CEOs have been fighting for years. And they are both stepping down, which is very interesting. But apparently there was some weird scandal at the firm. One of the quants changed the algorithm without authorization. Jian Wu is trying to boost his compensation. 60 billion, 2,000 employees, thousands of lines of Java code, 450 million in gains for one fund, but 170 million in losses for another fund. I would give this man a bonus. I would sit him down in the conference room and be like, listen, bro, Jian Wu, you Mr. Wu, you just made us an extra 450. Yes, sir. And you weren't allowed to make this trade, is that right? That's right. Listen, I'm going to tell you real quick. This is where I pull up my pants. You guys know what that meme is? For whatever reason, thugs, gangsters, etc., they pull up their pants. This is the video that inspired me. got a remote control and an old CRT tube monitor in the back. So yeah, I'd sit him down and say 450 mil in bonus, 170 in losses. I'm writing you a check right now for 20 mil, but don't you ever do that again. You understand, Wu? I'll make him piss his pants first. I have the gun on the table. Don't you ever make the unauthorized trade again. But we're upgrading you. You're getting a new corner office. We're giving you 15 executives and an extra $5 billion to manage. But you lose $1 of that money, bro. Or you want to be a big shot, Mr. Wu, huh? You want to make the big bucks. You want to swing around billions, huh? You made 450 extra for us, but you lost 170 in this other fund. Okay. Hey, you want to be a big shot? Cool. I'll grab him by the scruff of his neck, sit him in the chair. Be like, all right, I'm going to manage 5 billion. I'm kidding, man. Relax. It's just a joke. So yeah, the 2 sigma situation, really wild. I'll hire this guy though. I don't really care about what the Fed does. I don't know why you should. Now, if you're a professional macro trader, absolutely. And you want me to do a little macro analysis? I'd have to push off the other stocks that I'm supposed to look at. But I can do a little macro. That would kind of be fun, right? Buffett has the same skills, but he does it on pen and paper. And he basically makes some shortcuts. I don't like the shortcuts. But I'm very familiar with how Buffett does it. That's partially where I learned. I don't tell you guys everything I know. Or where I learned it or how. Buffett learned from me, to be honest. Ben Graham. Nice to meet you, Benjamin. Been a fan of your work. Well, Buffett learned from Ben and he had to surpass him, right? I learned from my teachers, had to surpass them. My first teacher recently had a major success. I think he made like 50 or 100 mil. I'm happy for him. It's one of my early bosses. But he never struggled. He was always a millionaire, always making lots of money. But he never had that real big breakthrough, and I think he had that huge breakthrough recently. So I'm very happy for him. Shout out to Ed. Yeah, Ed taught me value investing, at least his brand of it. Ed had a great joke. He said, what is the definition of book value? And of course I would say something like, and nerd me, 18, 19 years old, would be like, well, book value is assets minus liabilities, except if you're talking about tangible book value or we exclude goodwill. And he goes, no. Definition of book value is that's the most amount of money you would pay for a stock. And I laughed. Good value investor joke. Investing in general is very painful. It's an emotional roller coaster that's not for everyone. It's very hard to stay calm during investing. It's very hard to... There's a great book about it called Trading to Win by 𝐉𝐴𝐵𝐾. And if you read that book, you might take the first step in that journey. You have to learn to listen to your emotions, not just blunt them, but listen to them. It can work really well, but the thing about trading that's very difficult is you have to be right all the time. And you could be on a very hot streak where you feel like you're getting every trade right, but then if you turn cold, you have to buckle down and avoid risks very quickly. That part is hard. That's the hardest part. But what's hard for me might be different for you. Bliss, I made a 20 million bucks shorting something. That's not even institutional, that's just personal. I think that you should be more stressed when you are trading or losing money. It's weird if you're taking a big loss and you're not feeling anything. I think that's strange, kind of bizarre. You should probably be feeling something. I lost 100 mil just to feel something. That's not a good idea. It's like that song, I put my hand on the stove. I put my hand on the stove. Yeah, you gotta manage drawdowns. I never really did well managing money for others. Did very well managing money for myself. Managing money for others is very hard. I don't wish it on anyone. It's like very stressful. Yeah, no, I've definitely blown up accounts. First time was when I was like 19, I would say. I'd gotten my personal trading account up to quite a lot, and I bet it all on this weird merger arb trade. And it was a great learning experience, to say the least. I wish I didn't have it, but okay, take a look at this. They have this. We're doing Philip Morris first. Cigarette and HTU volume. What is this number in units of billions? Jesus, what's HTU again? Heated tobacco units. I used to know that. 1.2 million IQOS users. This is like SaaS subscriptions. Do you guys know IQOS? IQOS? I don't smoke. Yeah, the market reaction is immediate, Conwitz. Okay, there's ZYN. ZYN volume, 116 million cans. How much does a ZYN cost? 78% growth. What? I'm not a big fan of stimulants. Stimulants don't make you smarter. It might help you focus. If it helps you, you know? How much is a ZYN? Do you guys know? Even Tucker's doing his own ZYN, and I know there's a Peter Thiel-backed competitor as well. IQOS is now bigger than Marlboro. Wow. Pretty soon IQOS will be like software. They sold 151 billion cigarettes in 1 quarter. Jesus Christ. What a product. No, I don't like cigarettes, I don't like vapes. I also have asthma, so it doesn't help. This is the weirdest press release. Interesting, their breakdown. This is fascinating. Bio units. Indonesia, the biggest market for cigarettes, then Turkey, then Russia, then Japan, then Italy. I would actually thought Europe was the bigger market. But Indonesians, man, every Indonesian smokes. No, I don't think there is any competition with Indonesia. Indonesians are crazy. Everyone smokes there. Makes no sense. Okay, so Philip Morris is getting IQOS in the US, but IQOS isn't a big brand here, I don't think. Well, people will pay anything for Marlboro because of the quality. People love Marlboro. All right, let's get down to business. I think I have a sense for the company at this point. Let's do like a creative valuation. Yeah, the 23andMe situation is kind of crazy. Should we look at that stock? Maybe we should take over 23andMe. We do a chat takeover. I go raise the money. It's kind of a drug company now, though, so not even sure I could take it over. I would need special permission. Dare me to do it, chat? Dare me to do it? We did a hostile takeover company, and you won't believe what happened. They'll do anything for the content. Well, I don't think 23andMe is very valuable. I have to look at it, though. I don't know if did they do like full read DNA sequencing of the whole thing? Or they just looked at SNPs. My plans are not malicious, okay? I have no malice whatsoever. Look at the growth. Do you guys see this? ZYNs were literally 1 million pouches, then 42 million, now 421 million. At least the growth is leveled out. It's only going to be like 500 or 600 million. Next. I think a pouch is basically the can of ZYN. And you put the pouch in your mouth, basically. Even snus have grown like crazy. Yeah, I'll get a fresh fade soon. Fresh Caesar. Go to the Hood Barbershop. Hey, what up? I need one of these. Say less, fam. This is PM. Did I not put it on the site? Yeah, it should be on the bottom left. $PM. That means Philip Morris International. I think like 90% of the cigarettes they sell are Marlboro order. They bought Swedish Match, which is the ZYN company, right? Okay, here's the shipment numbers. They don't add up to the total, which is what bothers me a bit. Maybe they do. Okay, maybe they do, maybe they do. They kind of do. Okay, No, they do. They do. Okay, because I want to put these down here. That's revenue. Let me do. Should I put it like here? This will be a really interesting analysis. Like I want to see and forecast like what percentage of each population. Will smoke. Poland increasing its smoking, bucking the trend. We have any polls in the chat? Why are you guys smoking more? Egypt, here we go. Oh, I see. So this is the market share they have. Egypt also increased. Indonesia's finally going down. They got to get that under control. The Philippines also finally dramatically decreased. Man, the Turks smoke a lot too. Almost no market share in Australia. That's interesting. They're huge in Japan. Can you imagine being a tobacco executive in Australia and you're like, I gotta get my numbers up. Why are our numbers going down? That would be me as a tobacco boss. Okay, so like, let's sort these. Excel, sort these. And AI isn't here yet. So population of Indonesia. 275 million. It's insane. A lot of people sleep on Indonesia. So this is 83 billion units sold, right? So in Indonesia, Philip Morris sells you 300 cigarettes a person, every person, smokers and non-smokers. How about Turkey? Turkey might be worse. $812 cigarettes per person in Turkey per year. What's Russia population like? 200, 150, 144. So it looks like per Japan's up there. So these are their 5, let's just look at their 5 biggest markets. Okay, so the biggest smokers in the world per capita, at least of Philip Morris products. Turkey, Italy, Japan, Russia, and Indonesia. The Turks are the biggest smokers in the world. How about that? At least the Philip Morris products. I mean, there's other. All right, let's see if we can get some statistics on smoking in general. Is TARS heavily shorted? I didn't know that. Okay, we're not smoking Turkey. Let's see, Turkey tobacco. 31.6% of Turkish adults currently smoke. Let's look at the survey here. It's 31.2 going to 31.6. It's pretty stable. There's plenty of anti-cigarette stuff. Everyone thinks it's bad for you. So is this going to decline? All right, I'm not sure how to forecast this. This is tricky. Oh, here's Swedish match revenue. Interesting. ZYN revenue was $2 billion last year. Not as big as you might think, but I think that's just in. Is that globally? I think it is. Look at the profit margin, 824 and 2.5. So 33% operating margins. Yeah, most of the product is US. Almost all of it, in fact. Nobody's taking Zyn anywhere else but the US. Look at the growth, 10x year over year. Yet no growth, literally nobody's taking it outside the US and maybe Sweden. I was gonna buy some fresh. Got my interactive brokers coming back up just for you guys. Maybe on Monday I'll have interactive brokers for live trading. Although I confess it's not my day job to trade, and it never will be. My job is to create value by making startups. Okay, so there's free cash flow for PMI is going down. It's not great. We have to look at some more years. It's sort of a SPAC or a fund, but I don't call them failed CEO just yet, but all right. Do they do some kind of transaction? Oh, net revenues, got it. So the excise taxes, wow. We're still looking at Philip Morris. The free cash flow picture is a little bit different from the net income picture. I feel like I'm Gilbert Strang explaining the row picture of a matrix versus the column picture of a matrix. The row picture. So average cash flow for the last 6 years was 9 billion. All right, it looks kind of expensive, honestly. Average free cash flow. I don't know. I don't think the futures market's going to make much of a difference for these guys. They'll probably hedge their tobacco costs. Don't they grow it themselves? I would think. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. To me, this is a pretty rich valuation. Or the company can always be a battering ram or a pinata for policymakers. You need any more tax revenue? Just go hit up Philip Morris for another $1 billion. They buy the tobacco from farmers, but they probably hedge. Yeah, Zyn is not growing anymore, and there's competitors. Tucker Carlson getting off Zyn is big news. This could be a short. I like the stock at like 10 times earnings, but this is insane. I'm paying 22 times earnings for a tobacco stock. That's way too much. You know, and again, this is where, like, I'm not a tobacco investor. I played around with the field, but the stock's doubled. And I can buy tech stocks, software stocks, and drug stocks for a lot cheaper with more growth. Like Oracle. Oracle's been outperforming. Would you rather buy Oracle or this thing? I think Tucker's switching brands, either to his own brand or another brand. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm no go for me on Philip Morris. I'd actually short that. It's going to be a boring stock. Like, it can't grow rapidly. So I'm pretty suspicious of that. All right.